for all the things I've done. But every time I try to make peace with my enemies, I lose my patience and I lose my mind. Whoever gets her is whoever is in front of me. But why'd it have to be her this time? Oh, no, I let my loved one go, and I can't stop, no, I can't do the pain. Let my two colors show, black and blue look good on you to say. Half for one heart and half for one soul, don't make me whole. I've got this debt to pay. You wouldn't last one day walking in my shoes. Harder work and harder play, and I was just starting to like you. But I've been known to lose my temper when I'm tempted to. But otherwise, I'm a pretty nice guy. And if you knew all the places that they send me to, you would know to avoid my kind. Oh, no, I let my loved one go, and I can't stop, no, I can't do the pain. Oh, no, let my two colors show, black and blue look good on you to say. Half for one heart and half for one soul. Half for one heart and I belong to you. I belong to you. Do just what you want. You're the one I trust. And I always be around when I need some loving, baby. No one else. Yeah. Let you down. Take me to your heart. I belong to you. Take me to your soul.
Yo!
Oh, the clap went off. Patrick woke up and he's like, "Oh my gosh, I forgot to change my earphones."
That's all right. That's all right.
All good, all good. How you doing, Patrick? No,
I'm all right, man. What about you?
well, I could tell you, but you wouldn't know what I said. So, oh, there you go. Living the dream, man. Living the dream. Living the dream.
Oh man. Yeah,
Paul, you are welcome for that Q&A on Thursday. It was very fun.
that was fun.
It was very fun. Oh, Chewy's there. Look at all the people. Look at Casper's here too. Casper, nice. You missed out my.
I see Casper.
Yeah. When do you go? When do you leave for Sickle Bits?
Friday night.
This coming Friday?
Yes.
I don't know if we're gonna have a live stream next Saturday.
I meet Matthew in the airport.
Yeah. All right. Oh, and Chris Hamill is here. Look at that, Chris Hamill. You woke up in time. Oh, let me do. I'm gonna do something special for you, Chris. There you go. There you go. All right. Lots of cat folks in the house. Casper's here. Chris is here. Good times. Good times. All right. So welcome everyone. If you are new, Patrick, you need to lower your volume on the headset for your GoXLR thing. I'm getting echoes.
What about now?
Yo! I'm still hearing it. It's weird.
Oh.
Fail. There we go. That's much better. There we go. You can bring a horse to water, but you know. Anyway. Or you can bring water. However that goes. Actually, I'm still hearing it. I don't know where it's coming from. Mine. So I was getting feedback on my iPad because I didn't drop the volume on the iPad.
All right, that's all.
That's
the
all right.
volume's off.
All right. Anyway, all right. So if you are new to Guy in a Cube or the YouTube or the live stream in general, put hashtag new in the chat. We love seeing all the new faces. I love it. Last couple this whole year, we've had a ton of new folks joining the fun on Saturday, learning everything. Love it. Also, shout out to the members of Guy in a Cube. You help us do what we do here. We greatly appreciate it. It always amazes us of the support that we get. You know, it's just amazing. It's amazing, as always. So if you want to learn more about being a member, you can check the link on the screen or hit the join button down below. No commitment required. But just a big thank you from us for checking it out. Also, if you see folks with a green name or the Guy in a Cube logo next to their name, those are members of the Guy in a Cube. So thank you, everyone, for doing that. And then members, just be sure to hold your questions until Chatmaster C gives you the shout out. And that'll be at the halfway mark. So be on the lookout for that. All right. Questions. Get Q colon in front of the question. Chatmaster C is standing by to get it queued up. So please do not spam your question. One time is all you need. We get it in the queue. We don't get to every question. We get to as many as we can. Come back next time and we will try again. If you do spam, be sure to, you will get put in a timeout. Sorry, I've been up really early this morning, so I'm trying to go through everything. Oh my gosh. None of this is scripted. This is all live. This is real. So yeah, don't spam your question. You will get put in a timeout by either Chatmaster C or one of our lovely moderators. Those are the folks with the blue name or the wrench next to them, except for Patrick, because Patrick doesn't do it. But other folks will... We'll let you know if you get put in a timeout. All right. I think we did our... Oh, news. The news. Yes. Not the news, but speaking of news, actually, just shout out prayers and good thoughts for Ukraine and what's going on there. Terrible tragedy. So can't believe that's going on.
Yep.
All right. News. Sunit is new. I saw another one early too.
Just Roses, Flow.
Yeah, Sunit is new. Oh, there it is. Raleigh's new. Just browsing something new. Maz is new. Tim's new. Anthony's new. Chewy's a little old. Welcome to the club. Chandra's new. Thomas is renew. KD is new. Who else? I think that's it. I think we got them all. All right. Are we ready for the questions? Are you ready, Patrick?
Yes.
All right. This first question is for you. This first question is for you. Are you ready? Here we go.
Yeah.
Matthias, can you please make a tips and tricks video on starting Power BI together with the SAP HANA connector? Maybe. I don't know. So I'll be honest with you, Matthias. There's not a lot of people that would watch that video. So maybe we'll get to it. One of my challenges is I don't have an SAP HANA server, so it's kind of hard to do demos on that when you don't have a server. So I will think about it, but no guarantees.
You could just go set up one.
I've actually tried both in the past. It is not trivial. So I'll have you set it up because you're the Linux guy.
Yeah, all over it, all over it, all over it, all over it.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Yep, cool. So Matthias, yeah, I'll think about it. What I need to do, I need to reach out. I know someone that does a lot of. He's got a really good stuff on SAP HANA too. So if I do it, I'm probably going to do it with him. So we'll see. We'll see. No promises, Matthias. No promises.
Oh, Alex gave you a trial account. There you go. SAP HANA trial account.
No, I already.
SAP HANA Cloud.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Let's do Medi. Hello, guy in a cube. Is a video plan dedicated to set up log analytics for tracing? Already did one. Drop that in the chat. Tracing with log analytics. So check that out if you haven't seen it. It talks about how to set it up, and there's a template report that comes with it that you can go explore the trace information that's in there. So already done. Look at that. So that's one we don't have to put on the list.
It's not that hard either.
Yeah. I mean, there's cost associated with it though, so there is that.
Well.
So okay. Sohail, can we enable Power BI XMLA read write to individuals or AD groups?
I mean, I just looked on the premium per user, and I didn't see a way.
So not from a capacity perspective, but it's bound to the permissions of the data set.
There you go.
I knew you were going to do that when I said it. You weren't thinking about that, but yeah. Right? So do manage permissions on the data set and add individuals or groups there. There you go. So, yeah. So.
Is the music supposed to still be going?
Yes, I always have the music going.
Oh, okay.
I didn't cut it over to the right playlist though, so it is now. It's on the chill playlist, so all good. But yeah. Just do it. Just do it on the manage permissions on the data set. All good. All good. All right. Jadwiga. How can I edit the color of trend chart in Power BI goals? Some KPIs should be green when decreasing, others when increasing. I don't know if you can. I'd have to go look, but I don't think you can.
That's just a feature I need to really go look at.
I mean, I have. Let me go in it real quick, because I think I have one. But I don't think you can actually. So this is the trend line on the actual. Here, let me pull one up. Goals. Yeah. Go away. There. By the way, if you're not familiar with goals, like go check out the samples that are in there. They're very cool.
Oh, I think okay. It is.
All right, let me go over to my desktop. Let's go over to my desktop. Let me show goals for a second. So yeah, what she's talking about is this trend line here that's on the progress piece, right? So it's not like an actual visual, but it's how do you change the color here? And I don't think you can. Let me go to a goal that I've created so that I can edit. Actually, first, before I do that, I said the sample. So when you go to the goals section here on the left rail, you've got all of these samples that are here that just show you what you can do with it. So it's pretty cool. Let's see. So I saw Chris thinks that color goes with status. I thought I had a goal. Do I not have a goal? All right, let's create one.
But when you set the status, it doesn't show the option.
That should be fine. Go. New goal. Test. Save. And then, wait, why? Oh, because I have to edit. Nope. Ooh, it's been a little bit. There we go. Edit. Yes. Go away. So status. Oh, I see what Chris is saying. So if we do on track, then these are the colors that you'll choose, and so it's based. Okay, that makes sense.
But they're static though, right? They're not. You can't go.
So you can set up rules on the status, but yeah, like you can't. You wouldn't be able to edit like what the color would be, but it should. Does it match the? Let's go back and look. I didn't actually add data there, so but if you go back, yeah. So this is green. Yeah. Okay, that does match. Cool. Thank you, Chris Hamill. That makes sense. So behind is red, and so the line is red, and then on track is green, completed is blue, right? So this is going to match whatever the status is. And you can set up rules on the status to get that to be what you want, right? So that can be data driven on the status itself. So Jedwig, hopefully that helps you. Cool. Learn something every day. Look at that. All right. TV film buff. Is it possible to use a published report as a data source for a completely separate report? No. No.
So, well, if the data set.
Oh, wait. Is so you're saying it depends.
Yes, I am, because if I don't understand the question. Are they talking about the data?
Put the dollar in the jar. Put the dollar in the jar.
Hey man.
I know.
I got lots of dollars today. All right, I'm ready. Dollar bill. That's right, Thomas, aka Dollar Bill. And so if they're talking about the data on the page, right, the data on the actual report, no. But if we're talking about if it's the report and they publish the data set and the report as one PBIX file, I can connect to that data set.
But that's not connecting to the report. Right? That's the thing. You can connect to the data set all day long. That works. But the report would not be an actual data source.
Potato.
No, that's the question was, can you do it from the report? No. So my question there, TV film buff, would be like, why do you want to do that? Why not? Why can't we just connect to the data set and like build shared data set functionality and create another report that goes against that data set, that same data set? Have one data set for multiple reports.
Thank you, Miss Belinda, for agreeing with me. I appreciate that.
Yes.
And Adam Crystal offered.
I saw that. She's starting trouble. I told her specifically before the stream not to start trouble. And she's starting trouble. So, but the problem was we sold something and we did get some money, but it was only in 20s, and I just immediately handed her the cash because I don't keep the cash. Yeah. So it's not because and to be clear, she didn't request me to give her the cash. That was of my own free accord. She actually said I could hold on to the cash, but what the heck am I going to do with a cash with 20s? Like, I know everyone's going to pile on, put it in the It Depends jar. I'm like, I don't know if she would have been cool with that. Of course, she'll say so in the chat, right? I'm sure she was cool with it. Anyway, all right. Let's see. That's really what she was looking for. That is what she was looking for.
You heard it.
All right.
You heard it live. It's recorded too. It's recorded.
Winston says hard to hear. Is your microphone in the right spot?
Yeah, it's right there. It's literally right there. My finger's on it right now.
Bump up your mic volume a little bit. Just a little bit. Like I do see like you're a little. They're saying in the chat you're a little soft, but.
Okay. What about now?
It's better.
You just had me lower the mic volume. You had me lower it.
No, I had you lower the headset volume, not the mic volume. Oh my gosh. This is why I run the technical parts of the show. You lowered the mic, not the headphone, right? Lower the headphone, please, because that's where the feedback's coming from. Anyway, all right.
Okay. What about?
All right. Yeah. No, I still hear it. I don't know. Don't worry about it.
I don't know which one it is.
Your mic volume's fine. Your mic volume's fine. All right. So is there a way to set the case sensitivity for models created in a direct query mode in Power BI desktop and then published in a workspace? Go for it, Patrick.
Oh, remember that question? We just got that question. And you
yeah,
can,
not here, but yeah.
No, we got that question. And Chris Webb has a blog post. He does. He really does. And it's some work.
Well, here,
and then I actually talked. Go ahead.
The challenge is from an analysis services tabular model, there is no case sensitivity.
Right.
Like we don't enforce it.
Right.
Right. And you can't change that.
But you can do some tricks in Power Query to make it not get rid of the case sensitivity when it loads into the model. But anyway.
Yes.
Anyway.
Yeah. So hey Alex, I don't know if you can find that blog from Chris and drop that. There you go.
Boom.
He's already got it. He's already got it. He's on it. As he's looking out his window, checking what's going on with the whole Mardi Gras stuff by him. He was telling me about that. That sounds scary. Oof. All right. So just Patrick, just FYI, I left quiet. It depends. All right. Okay. Let's see here. Aman. How do you recommend documenting a workspace for its owners to keep notes? Is it a dummy report or something better? Ooh, I like that question. It depends. I like the report idea, like having something in that workspace that goes with it, and you can include that in the app as well, and so it's portable on both fronts. There is is there?
And so I'm thinking what Alex is thinking though. Are we talking about the artifacts in the workspace or the workspace itself?
Yes. It depends.
Yes.
So I agree. I do read that as the artifacts in the workspace, not the workspace itself. He's just saying that as a collective. He means the settings on the workspace. Oh, all right. So here you go. I'm going to go back to my desktop. So for a given workspace itself, you do have a description field, but this is kind of available for others to see. At least I think so. Oh no, that's on the report. So yeah, I would do it there. Like do it on the description in the workspace. If you want to document specifically the workspace. Now you could also do this from other areas, like if you have a central tracking thing, or if you want to do it in a report. But the description is there, so you could take advantage of that. Yes, Patrick, what do you think?
Well, I'm still stuck on the word settings. I don't think he means just a description. I don't think he just means a description of the report. No. I mean, not a description of the workspace. Go ahead.
Well, so I don't know. If we're talking about these settings, like you can actually do something, but there's not a lot there. And then, if there's premium or Azure connections or... I mean, there are settings for the workspace, and you could document that in the description of the workspace, and then there's other settings that can be applied.
There's no API to read those? There's no API to read those settings on the workspace?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I mean, if you do a get workspace command or call on the API, it will give you some of it. It's not going to give you all of it, though.
Okay. All right.
So, yeah. Cool. All right. Hopefully that helps you, Aman. I don't know if that did what you wanted. All right. So Alex, thanks for putting the API. Just for the APIs, if you ever see group, it means workspace.
Yeah.
In PowerShell, though, it says workspace, not group. But it calls the group API.
Benny is calling it out right now, though. He says you only can get the description, name, status, and type. Yeah. All right. Thanks, Benny.
Yep.
Thanks, Benny.
All right. Shudishna. Best way to add slicers. Click the slicer button. Well, it depends. It depends.
No,
all right. Let me read the rest of the question. Sorry. Best way to add slicers. Separate pane using bookmarks. Okay. Gets messy if there are other bookmarks in the same page. Put all the slicers on the top of the page. Okay. So this is not about. This isn't about how to actually add a slicer. It's about how to manage slicers.
But it does depend, though.
It absolutely depends. So you called out two great options there. So you can just have the slicers there. It'll take real estate. You can do a call out, a slicer panel, so to speak. I did a video on that. And then, Chris is there. I knew Chris was going to chime in on this. This is Chris's jam. The other thing, you could also have a separate page in the report that is kind of like the slicer, like that's their filtering mechanism, and then that use sync slicers to have that carry across the other pages or the pages that it relates to. So that's an option as well. What did Chris say? It's like, I like leaving slicers exposed if end users are going to be interacting with them on a regular basis. Pop out if they're less often used. Yes. So Patrick, retell the story of that one customer you worked with where they had 26 slicers or whatever. It was so many.
At the top of the page, there were like 20 odd something slices, right? And so I said, hey, did we talk to the report consumers and find out which slicers they use on the page? And so they came back and they were like, oh, they just used that one, the year slicer. Do we need all the other slices? Because the slices cost. The slices cost on your page load, So I think the first thing you got to do, and that's why I said it.
And in the discussion with it, you were like, well, out of these slicers, which ones do you use all the time? Oh, well, there's only 2 of them. We're like, well, leave those 2 and put the rest, get rid of them.
We put them in the filter. I think we put them in the filter pane. We put some of them in the filter pane. We got rid of some of them. But it's a conversation with your report consumers also. I mean, we shouldn't make that decision about the slices.
Yeah.
I do.
And Chris is calling out. Yep, that's good practice. Yep, drop down slicers. Don't run the queries. I think we did a video on that, right?
I did a video on that. I did a video a long time ago.
Long time ago. Yep, drop down.
It's part of our It's part of our perf session that we do.
Yes, it is.
Yep.
So
Reed.
Hey, Reed's here.
How's it going?
Hey, look at this. Reed and Chris Hamill got up early today. That is. The stars are aligned, I guess. I don't know. People on the West Coast getting up early. Awesome. Okay. Let's go back. How are we doing on time? Oh, we got time still. Look, we're getting through a lot of questions today. Not like last week. Last week we didn't get through a lot at all. God. All right. KD. A lot of questions from new folks too. I love it. There are about 27 Excel files that Power BI report is connected to. Ooh. Could that cause processing time to increase?
Yeah.
Wait. It depends.
Okay, I'm gonna move this jar over here so I stop turning around.
So the reason I say it depends is look, going against 27 Excel files in general is probably not going to be the fastest thing in the world. But it also depends on what kind of transformations are you doing on top of that, right? Because that's going to even increase the problem. One thing of note, something that Chris Webb had shared with Patrick and I way back when, he made a side comment. He's just like, CSVs are faster than Excel files when we import.
And it was so matter of fact too.
Yeah, it was just like, no, CSVs are faster.
CSVs.
Yeah. So something to think about. Limit your transformations. Can we get it into a common store before we even hit Power Query? Get it into a database of some kind. That would be faster. At least for Power BI, it'd be faster.
So tell people about why we're putting the money in the jar. People are like, what are they doing?
It's your jar. You tell it.
So every time we say it depends, we got to put $1 in the jar, and it's kind of getting full. We've only been doing it a couple of weeks.
And what's that money going to be used for?
We're going to donate it at the end of the year. At the end of the year, we're going to donate it to something. I don't know what.
Yeah.
We'll donate it to.
Yeah. Nice. Raleigh says Excel does not equal database. Don't tell that to some people in finance. That's fighting words. It's fighting words. But KD, it's 27. Going against an Excel file in general is not going to be the fastest thing in the world.
Mm-mm.
So
now just use SharePoint lists. Just use SharePoint lists. They're so much faster.
Sure. All right. Avinash. Is there any workaround to send email alert from Power BI report server?
Yeah, subscriptions.
Well, that's not an alert.
Subscription.
It's not an alert.
Ah, man, you can do it though. You can do it. I've done it. I've set them up as alerts. It's a hack, but you can make it happen. It just creates a SQL job. It just creates a job on your SQL server. So you can do it.
Yeah. So there's that. Also, like, I mean, think outside of a box, right? So Pod Beater defining an alert. It's a Power BI report server thing. So. It's not the Power
he's saying
BI service.
define alert. I think he's saying define alert.
So that's kind of where I was going too. Is like, what exactly are we alerting on? If it's a specific piece of data, can we just alert off of that from the database directly? Like use something like Power Automate or something like that?
Yeah.
So, yeah. Also, oh, sorry, Belinda, you just reminded me. I forgot. Somebody did someone did a super chat. I'm gonna grab that next. Like it's report server. So, there's other options there. So I don't know if we have to go directly. Like, what are we doing in Power BI report server that we can't do with the data directly? So, cool. All right. Let's go back to there. It is. All right. Okay. I'm not even gonna. I can't pronounce that first name. I'm sorry. But super chat from. I'm gonna grab the full question, not the super chatted one. So this is if I have more than one fact table with this is a Patrick question. If I have more than one fact table with pre-sales, sales, after sales, returns. So we have a fact table for each one of those?
Okay, that's fine.
And each one of them have some similar info. Well, I would imagine so because there's the same kind of events. So as foreign keys, can I use an intermediate table?
Why would you use an intermediate table? Why would you use the intermediate table? It's already all these fact tables. What's the purpose of the intermediate table? But what are you trying to do?
Yeah.
I don't have that. What are you trying to do? Are you trying to just correlate those on one visual? Just
and Chewy said what I'm thinking too. I'm like, why are they different fact tables? We actually just had this conversation with something else. So I'm like,
but they may be at different grains. It may be different stuff, And so like take region, for example, as long as a region key is in all those facts, just connect region up.
Have relationships to the dimension and then filter on the dimension. It'll filter all of the fact tables that it's related to.
If you can combine, if you look at your fact tables and look for commonalities, combine them, right? Combine those fact tables.
And then have a type, thing that you can say like, this is for after sales. This is before sales, whatever, like whatever stage that it's in.
Do not bridge your fact tables together just to do filtering across your fact tables. Do not do that. Do not do that. Do not do that. Do not do that.
Yes, Paul Sutherland, I do agree with you. It does depend.
Frickin'.
So, but thank you for the super chat. Again, I'm gonna not say that name correctly, but thank you so much for the super chat. Also, Belinda, thank you for your super chat as well. Future jar donations, love it.
That's for the jar. $10. $10 for the jar. I should be keeping track of.
We need to track that. Yes, there was one last week. I think Wyatt did one also last week.
Yeah.
We need to track that. All right. Let's see how. Yep. Let's do Steve Knight.
Ooh, I need to shave.
All right. So this is the last question. Any thoughts, experience on migrating RDL files to Power BI? Our migration would be from RS SharePoint. SharePoint integrated. Ooh.
You still can do it with the RDL. Well, you can do it with the RDL migration tool.
So I don't think he knows about the RDL migration tool. Oh. That's where I was going to go with this. I'm like, there's an RDL migration tool. Hey, Alex, can you drop a link to it? There's a GitHub repo with it in there. So run that. That'll help you. Right? Yep. Nice. Yes. So, but that's what I would run to make sure that everything's going to kind of line up. So that should help you in that journey. Going from on-prem to the Power BI service.
Can you read Kevin Arnold's comment? I just want to make sure I understand what he's saying. Patrick LeBlanc, I had a request to add. Can you bring it up?
Add the it depends balance to my links reports. So yes, please track it. Well, it depends.
Okay. No, don't say that.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll work on it, Kevin. We'll work on it.
Yeah. We'll work on
Kevin's going to be our bookkeeper.
Oh, I did a video on the RDO migration tool. Also, I think Alex posted. I did a video on that. I forgot I did a video on that.
Yeah. All right, cool. We are at the halfway mark, so we are going over to member-only chat. If you are a member, get your questions in. Chatmaster C has cleared the queue. Apologies if we didn't get to your question. We never get through all of them. And there were a lot. It needs an API.
Maybe we could put a IoT device on it.
Yeah, there you go.
Insert.
You just hit a button and it triggers like an event hub thing, and it's actually not a bad idea. Go get like a Raspberry Pi or something, and like.
Yeah, I have one. You know, I have a Raspberry
Pi. I know. You dropped it on the floor in Uruguay. All right. So yeah, members, get your question in. We are going to member only chat, which means members and moderators will be able to participate in the chat. Everyone else will only be able to watch and just learn, but not participate in the chat directly. If you want to learn more about becoming a member, check out the join link down below. And that will give you that info. Also, super chats always take priority. So if you do have a burning question we didn't get to, super chat will make sure it pops to the top of the queue. Just be sure when you send the super chat, the super chat, make sure you type in the question first before you hit the button. Otherwise, you didn't do it. All right, let's cut over. Members only. All right, cool. So we got two. Paul, thank you for the super chat. Wait, what?
Scott is Scott. Never.
Where do you see Scott?
Oh,
Scott Staff. Oh, there he is, right there. Scott, how are you? He's one of my Kerberos buddies.
Yeah, there you go.
Yes.
Scott.
Oh, Alex. Here we go. All right, thank you for the super chat, Alex. Demonstrating how to get your question to the top of the queue. So preparing for a job interview that uses Power BI, not sure what to expect. What advice would you give?
Don't ask Patrick questions about incremental refresh. Just don't.
Don't. Well, if you mention incremental refresh, be prepared to go into details.
Yes. Just don't do it. Don't mention Vertipack Analyzer when you're on with Adam, because you will never make it off that interview. Sorry, you're never gonna make it off.
It's like there's layers, right? You pull back layers on an onion, right?
Yeah.
And we're gonna dive into. So seriously though, like if you're gonna have an interview about a Power BI position, know some stuff about Power BI. That's important. So I would absolutely, actually, hey, Alex, drop a link to the guidance documentation. Just the whole section for the guidance docs. You should be familiar with that. I like best practices for Power BI. You should absolutely be familiar with that. I'm not saying you have to be an expert on that stuff, but you should be familiar with it.
And then don't get on the interview and say, "Oh, I watch all your videos," because the moment you say that, I'm gonna go, "Oh, let me think of one video, and I'm gonna ask you some specific questions about that video." Don't say that. Don't say that.
That's mean.
Please don't say that.
That's mean.
It is mean a little bit. It is. Oh,
Neil,
I did. Neil, I did. I did ask him about that.
Anyway, but yeah, so be familiar with the general concepts of Power BI. Understand what the artifacts are in Power BI and how they relate to each other. Again, you don't have to be an expert. I'm not saying you got to know all the internals. No. But be able to talk about it, right? So those are ways that you should, if you're applying for Power BI, you got to know it. Now, I understand that there are people that look, they just create reports in Power BI Desktop, right? They don't deal with the service. They don't deal with any of that. It also, so the other thing I'm going to say is get your dollar ready, Patrick. It depends. Because what's the job that you're going after, right? Or if you're going after a report, like a business analyst type role, then just know about Power BI Desktop, right? You don't necessarily need to know about all the service stuff. If you're applying for a job like on the Power BI Cat team, though, you're going to have to know a lot more, right? So be prepared for that. Or if you're being an admin of Power BI, there's different things you need to know about. So understand what the job requires. Read the job description too. That helps.
Read the job description. There you go. Okay.
Right. No, David, that's not a requirement. So he said, "Don't say I don't know. You did videos. That's not a requirement. I don't care about that. That's fine.
Bald is a requirement, though, Neil. Bald is a requirement.
Yeah. So Matthew says, if you're interviewing for the Power BI Cat team, also know that what you see here isn't what the Cat team does. Very true. Very true. You need to solve real problems and not just be bald on a camera while saying it depends. That's true. That's true. You got to drink coffee too. All right. Thank you, Alex. Also, wow. So there's a couple members too. So Anthony Lopez, Orlando, and Guy3. Thank you for becoming Thank you for becoming members. Much appreciated. Also, we got a super chat from Clef. Thank you for that.
Was there a question with it? There was no question. Oh.
So I don't know if you meant to have a question. I'm sorry. You didn't type it in. All right. Thank you, Alex. All right. Jason. In the Gen 2 metrics app, you can see a timeout detail on why you went over the capacity and shows certain queries are causing the issue. But how do you find the SQL DAX queries? Will this be added? No. That's not even an it depends. It's a no. So going back to, actually, I'm going to drop the link to it again. The video I said about the log analytics piece, that's what you need. So it's not going to give you the drilling query details of what's going on with that data set. So that's where the log analytics piece comes in. Or you could do a profiler trace on the XMLA, but you got to have it when the problem's occurring, whereas the log analytics will have that over time. And so that will give you the detailed queries of tracing. It's the AS tracing for the data sets. So that is your answer. That's how you get it. So it's really the combination of the two that allow you to really go deeper with it, find the high level of where the problem is, and then go dig into what's going on with it from a query perspective. Cool. I like that question. That was a good question.
Yeah. Yep. That's a good question.
Yep. Yeah. So Dan, that's a good point. This was something when I was in support too, looking at diagnostics. It was always something that I paid attention to was know the time that you're looking for. So someone would come up to me when I was in escalation. They'd be like, "All right, I got like a big profiler trace," and I'm like, "Okay, like what am I looking for?
When did it happen?
Like, and what like." Do we know when? Because I don't want to weed through all of that. Like it's chatty, right? There's a lot of stuff there. So what do I need to filter it down to? So timestamps are important. Understanding when it actually happened, or give me like a window, like it happened within this 5 or 10 minute range. That's still pretty big, but it's better than looking through 2 hours of trace. So yes.
Also, pay attention to setting up a profile trace, opening DAX Studio and setting up a trace, because that adds load. That adds load too, because it's constantly, capturing information. So you got to be careful. It's okay to do it, but don't just leave it running forever.
Yeah,
you got to be really careful.
Oh, look at Dan just dropping more thing. Just pay attention to the time. Understand what's in UTC and what's not in UTC, so that you can correlate correctly. Because it's like, oh, it happened at 8 p.m., but you didn't see it. Well, that's because we didn't do the time zone math.
This should have been like 8. It depends.
Well, okay.
Just kidding. Just kidding.
Satish, thank you for becoming a member. I saw something about Matthew and Burn, and I don't know what that was.
Matthew said,
what did Matthew say?
Razor burn or something like that.
No, I know, but he said something to Paul Cooper.
I don't know.
I think it was referring to the other thing about the whole, Cat team's more than being bald on YouTube.
Yeah,
it's true.
It's moving too
true,
fast. The chat's
it's a true
moving too
statement.
fast.
Yeah. Yeah, Thomas, performance test the reports before deployment. Yeah, but there's also a difference. So that depends, right? So because yes, there's the individual report performance, but when you get it up to the service and you got a ton of users hitting it, as well as other data sets and reports going on, like that all contributes, right? Whereas you're not going to have that in your localized Power BI desktop. So there's different aspects of testing and performance. So it definitely depends on that front. All right, cool. Oh, no, Paul. That wasn't in the initial rule set, so I don't know that we're going to amend that. Patrick's not even paying attention, so it's fine.
I'm not.
Well, he said we should have a rule. This helps you, Patrick. This helps you. One depends per question.
Yeah.
But that wasn't part of the original rules when we set this up, so no, that's not.
No, that was an implied rule.
Yes. All right.
Paul.
All right, Pub Eater. Here we go. I have two tables. One has 3 columns. Like it. Who, start date time, and end date time. Okay. So the second table has 2 columns. What and date time. Want to select a who. For some reason, I'm getting Dr. Seuss in my head. Select a who from table 1 to get the list of what's from table 2. How can this be done in DAX? How do they relate to each other? I mean, all you've got is a time. So I'm like, I don't know how what and who relate to each other. So what would you be pulling back? I'm like, if you're just looking for like, hey, here's the time range, give me the time range of the other table, that's fine. Stick the time piece in variables and then filter on that on the other table. But I'm like, there's no way to join that with just the data that you provided. So what? What did I miss?
No, I can't say this. Chris Finland just texted me something. I can't say it on here.
All right.
I didn't even know he was in the chat.
He's stealthy. Scott, thank you for becoming a member, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. Yeah.
But why would you want to do this with DAX? You just model it properly and it should filter. Well,
I don't know what you're trying to do. It should just filter if you have a relationship and something to relate on, right?
It could be only done in Whoville.
I know, that's where I said Dr. Seuss. I was like, I've got a who from, and I'm like, from Whoville. I'm like, that Whoville is just coming in my head. Oh, anyway, yeah, Pub Eater, I mean, we need something to relate the two together. That's the only way you're going to get it. There's no relationship there. All right.
Pub Eater submitted that question.
Yeah.
I tried to use measure.
Yeah. Well, so not necessarily measures and filters. You just need that. Again, what are you filtering on? I don't know what you're filtering on. How are you filtering the what table?
Date time is the relationship.
That's not a relationship. So
that's what he says.
That's the value that you want, you're going to have. So the who table is going to be filtered by a given time, right? And so then you can only get like the min or the max, right? Or a selective value if you're doing that from a slicer perspective. And so, okay, what is that value? And then use that value, stick it in a variable, and then filter on that on the what table.
TES.
Do you like where dates between or something like that? So that's how you would do that. Cool. All right, Mr. Chris. DAX is hard. No, DAX is easy. So, or how does Alberto say it? How does Alberto say it? It's like, I always get that wrong.
I forget what he says. But yeah. There's a learning thing that Phil Seamark put on.
Yes.
That's a really good place to start.
Yeah, the Learn course. So, hey, Alex, drop the Learn course if you haven't already, please. Yeah. And so that Learn course is good. tons of books on getting started with DAX as well. SQL BI's also got an intro to DAX course as well. I think that one is free.
It's free. It's free.
Yeah, I think that one's free.
It's free.
Yeah. So, there you go, Chris. Thank you,
DAX,
sir. DAX is easy to learn, but hard to
DAX is
master.
easy.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. Yes, you did indeed, Chris. Yeah. So, yeah. Look, Chris, the fact that you're even asking that question, I love it. DAX is a journey. And it's going to take time and like find projects to work on where you can push on things and learn it, do some tracing, see what it's doing. So that's how you're going to get there. But there are some great intro courses to kind of get you started. So, yep. All right, cool. And Laura, thank you for becoming a member. Much appreciated. All right, Mr. Greg, how you doing, Greg? Apologies in advance. I thought he said he needs an expert, but it's need to export a Power BI service report. Bad, I know. To PDF. Okay, comes out as 4 pages. Okay. Is there an Excel we've gotten this question a lot. Like this has come up like 3 or 4 times in the last 2 weeks. What?
Sorry.
Maybe I need to do a video on that, but I don't like doing videos on stuff like that. So when we export, there's no way to export, like when you export a report to Excel, like what would that even look like? Because you could have multiple visuals on there, like slicers and stuff. Like how does that export to Excel? You can export a paginated report to Excel. But not a Power BI report. So in Power BI reports, you can export a visual to Excel, but not the whole report. So that's something to think about. Is there is no way. So when the export to API does not support Excel for a report, a Power BI report, only for paginated report. So sorry, man. Do a paginated report.
Oh wait, David saying he's not asking about exporting to Excel. It's how Power BI formats the PDF.
Okay. Wait.
Okay.
Is there an Excel-like way to set? No.
1 page wide and 1 page tall. Okay, so better formatting of the PDFs.
Nope.
When I do the export.
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
Thanks.
So you're asking for a pixel
Thanks,
perfect.
David.
You're asking for yes, thank you, David. You're asking for a pixel perfect output of a Power BI report. No. It's just going to output whatever so it's the page dimensions that you have for the given page. Like I believe that's how it's going to export it. So you could play around with the height and width of the page itself and see if that affects it. I'd have to try that.
Just use paginated.
Paginated is the right way to go there. Paginated is set for, because you're trying to mess around with like the hard page breaks and things of that nature, and that's all paginated. That's not Power BI report. I should have a paginated jar. It feels like I've been talking about paginated a lot in the last month. A lot. So yeah. So Greg, you can toy around with the page settings on the report page itself inside of Power BI desktop and see if that affect. I haven't played around with that to see if that would affect the PDF output. That would be the only thing. That would be the only thing.
I don't know.
Yep. Yeah, and Scott, simply have a report print to 1 page instead of 4. That's not going to happen. So, I mean, I think you can say only do like the 1 report page instead of all 4, but you can't have like all 4 pages print out to 1 page. Like that doesn't work. Cool. All right. All right. And Charlie is confirming page size does affect PDF export. Thanks.
Oh, cool. There you go. Thanks,
Very
Charlie.
nice. Very nice. Very cool. All right. Guy 3. Paginated report in cascading date filters. Okay. Filtering based on a condition. Custom date filtering works fine in Report Builder, but results empty data set in Power BI server. Empty data set, what is that? Is it a known issue? I need more info on that. I don't know what you're trying to do there. So we're saying that we have cascade, so we have parameters for cascading date filter, and you're using those parameters in a data set in the paginated report, but you're getting no results in that data set. So I mean, we'd have to debug it and figure out what's going on. I doubt it's an issue with the paginated report itself. It's probably just how we've set up the parameters and how we're using it in the query. That'd be my guess.
Yep.
But I'd have to look at it to dig in. I mean, that's I don't know. There's no known issue that I'm aware of for that for sure. I debug the report
in the service.
Well, no, so you have a data set in, well, and that's weird that he says it's working locally in Report Builder, but when we publish to the service, is the data different between what we're going against? Probably not. It's probably the same data source. But if you are changing the data source, then, you know, that would be something to look at as well. Yeah.
It could be a data type problem.
It depends.
I thought we were not going to say that.
But we got to debug it though, right? You got to walk through the things, narrow it down. Data is empty. Table is empty. Oh, data is empty. Table is empty. Yes, I get that. We need to walk through it and debug it. Like there's probably something wrong in the report. I can't explain why it's working in Report Builder and not in the service. Again, I'd have to debug it and just walk through it. Permissions could be coming into play. There's so many factors in that.
Cool. But we'd have to walk through it. I could think of. Yeah.
So if you're really stuck and you need to get this working, I definitely recommend opening up a support case. So, and see if they can help.
It works fine in Report Builder, only in the service.
I know. What's different between the service and Report Builder?
That's where you start.
Yeah. What's different? I always, in all of those situations, look, could it be a bug? Maybe. But paginated reports have been around for a very long time. So it's less likely that it's a problem with paginated reports itself as a feature. I always personally assume whenever I hit a problem like that there's something going on with the data or how we wired up parameters. That's always my first assumption.
It's because Chris Finland left.
I do. Yeah. It's Chris's fault.
It's Chris's fault.
All right. Good luck with that. Yeah. We need to. All right. Orlando. In incremental refresh. Ooh, we're talking Patrick's language now. With a policy of 90 days for archiving and 2 days for refresh. Wait. What?
Yeah. So they're gonna in an initial refresh.
Got it.
Grab 90 days.
Yep. Okay. If the refresh stops working for 5 days and then works again, will Power BI pick up the refresh for the last date? It's a sliding window.
Yeah.
So it's only going to get
2 days.
Yeah. So if you skip a week of refreshing and then refresh 5 days later and your window was only 2 days, it's only going to go get the last 2 days. So, yeah. Be careful with that. Now, what you could do, though, is you could jump in. So my first question there is, why did you skip some days on refresh? Like, why don't we have scheduled refresh running? To keep that up.
I think it broke. It stopped working.
All right.
It stopped working.
So if you're on premium, you can connect through the Xmla endpoint and then just refresh the individual partitions. The other option is republish the report and refresh. Go through the full refresh again if you don't have Xmla endpoint. Cool.
That's why you want to have your report and your data set separate. Report and data set separate, right? So you don't break your reports.
Yep. Cool. All right. Let's see here. Laura. All right, this is the last question in the queue. Ooh. Any starter tips for connecting and visualizing data from QuickBooks? Ooh.
Matthew posted a link from Intuit I saw it come through.
Nice.
Yeah, somewhere he posted a link.
Yes. Yes. So I mean, it's a data source. I'm not personally familiar with Connect. I know it's going to be like an API data source, which means it's going to be slow. So you got to be mindful of that. So it should work. I'm not familiar with that connector specifically in terms of what's it pulling and how you connect. Like I know there are some things, like I don't know if it's this, but I'll liken it to the Outlook connector, like when we're or Exchange connector, when we're connecting to email. Like there was an oddity where that connector, it was going specifically for that person's account. And so it wasn't like you can just go get everything for all different like accounts. And so from a QuickBooks, it's going to be specific to how you're connecting to it. That's what you're authenticated as. And my guess is it's just going to be whatever's there for that given user. And so if you're trying to get like multiple things, like that could become a challenge. Or yeah, David saying QuickBooks Online versus on-prem QuickBooks makes a big difference. Yeah.
Did you know there was a QuickBooks Online connector?
I knew there was a QuickBooks connector. I didn't know if it differentiated between online or on-prem. I assumed it was online.
Yeah, interesting.
I knew there was a QuickBooks connector. So, yeah, but starter tips, like Laura, also starter tips on that. Like, if you're asking specifically,
it's not about the source.
It's not about the source. Yeah. It's about how do we treat data in Power BI, and then how do we visualize on data? In that conversation, I don't care about the source specifically. It's data is data, right? So that's how we're getting the data into Power BI, but how do we shape it? How do we model it? And then how do we actually visualize on top of it based on, what question are we trying to answer? Those are the things that you should be looking at, not unless you're hitting a specific issue with the QuickBooks connector, then that's something else. But yeah, it's about, understand a star schema, understand how Power BI likes data, follow Matthew's advice of, do it as far upstream as possible. So in this case with QuickBooks, it's going to be Power Query, not DAX. So all those things come into play. Best of luck. All right. Jason snuck one more question in there. Uh-oh. Why was North Central tenant degraded for over 12 hours on Wednesday this past week? So I'm aware that it happened. I don't know what the root cause was. Yeah, I don't know. Something happened. But I know it went into read-only mode. So that usually only happens for something really bad. The other thing to realize in some of those situations too is it may not be like, so if you really want a true root cause analysis of why it went down, open up a support ticket. That's how you can get that. But sometimes what can happen though is Power BI is built on Azure. And so if a dependent Azure service happened to go down in that region, like Power BI becomes a victim at that point. I'm not saying that that's what it was. I don't know exactly why the outage happened. It happened, and it went into read-only mode. So the other thing I would say is, hey, Alex, can you drop the SRE doc, Service Reliability Engineering doc? So that doc actually talks about like that. There's also a doc for like how Power BI handles like high availability and disaster recovery. But yeah, if you do want the true item, be sure to open up support case. So, and then Satish, thank you for the super chat. He said it's just a donation. Thank you. Love it. I love it.
I saw another question come in.
I did see one. We're at time, but Eric, we'll do it. Could follow up? Could that have affected only certain features in other regions, such as export to Excel? I have no idea. It depends. So features in other regions, I doubt it. But if you're doing premium and you're doing multi-geo with premium, so if your tenant is, your home tenant is in, or home region was in North Central when it went down, but you have premium capacities that are in multi-geo, understand that the home region is down, right? So you're gonna be impacted. And then vice versa also, like maybe you have a premium capacity that's based in North Central, but your home tenant is somewhere else. Then that might have just been that premium capacity was affected. So there's maybe, I don't know. It depends on the situation. So Swapnil, thank you for becoming a member. Much appreciated. All right. And there was questions. I know Melinda said, how's the new puppy doing? Puppy's doing awesome. He's a Dane though, and so with any he's getting bigger. He's getting heavy. Yeah. He's only a couple weeks old though, or I mean more than a couple weeks, but he's like, I don't know how actual old he is now. 12 weeks, maybe 11 weeks. I don't know. Wow. We're posting a lot of pictures on Facebook and Twitter with it though. But with Great Danes, there are certain things that if people don't have Danes, they're not aware of this. And we got lucky with our bigger Great Dane on some of it because he doesn't do it necessarily, but Great Danes fart a lot. Just gonna say that. They fart a lot. And this one, Ash didn't do it, but Brimstone is, man, it's like every 5 minutes, and it's like, whew.
It's enough. It's enough.
The puppy breath is gone. It's pretty much gone at this point, but it lasted a while, so. And then Swapnil, thank you. Appreciate you. Awesome. Yeah, Brimstone. So it's Ash and Brimstone. That was on purpose. Yeah.
So we get another one.
Well, but this is the thing. Like Ash doesn't really do that. Not like what Brimstone's doing. Brimstone is like every 5 minutes. Like it's not it's not food or anything. Like he's transitioned fully on that. The Great Danes just fart a lot. And then the slobber too, but we deal with the slobber with Ash. So, alrighty, everyone, we are at time. So, Patrick, any closing words of wisdom?
I will see everyone in London next Saturday.
Yes, I'm jealous. I am jealous. Sequel Bits is coming up very soon. So awesome. So safe travels to everyone that's going to Sequel Bits. I will miss everyone, but I will be there in spirit. So awesome. All right. So thank you, everyone. I will figure out next weekend. So stay tuned on that.
We're gonna be live from London. I
don't think so.
Matthew and I are going to be live from London. Okay. I'm gonna bring this little webcam with me. And
okay. Well, just bring your GH5. You have a camera right there.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
All right, everyone. We'll see you. Have a great next week.
It's just another Friday in paradise. So bring your A